When it comes to increasing your wealth and increasing your income, it's important to understand that you should never be asking for what you want. Instead, you should be taking what you want by applying leverage. This video, I'm going to go over this conceptual formula that literally proves why it's significantly to your advantage to be applying to other companies rather than asking for a raise or asking a promotion from within your company. And we're going to go through it. It's basically a formula for how to obtain leverage. We're going to go through these one at a time. I work in IT, so I'm going to reference IT a little bit as I go through this formula, just as an example. But you'll see that there's three components to leverage. There's the value of your alternatives, which basically just means like how many options do you have? How in demand is the position that you're looking to fill, basically, right? In my case, if you're trying to be an IT support specialist, how many companies are desperately trying to hire IT support, right? Unfortunately, for my field, IT is it's a fairly oversaturated field, and especially entry level IT. So there's a lot of competition for people just getting started in IT. So fortunately, in terms of leverage, I don't have this side of the equation working for me very well. But then we go on to the next one, which is control over resources, which basically is, how much education do you have? How much knowledge do you have? How much skills and experience do you have? In other words, just to put it simply, what do you bring to the table? That's what this side of the equation is, essentially. And this last bit is dependence on the other party, uh, which is essentially how badly do you need this job? And now this is precisely why. Right here, this is exactly the reason why it's way better to be applying to other companies than trying to get promoted or get a raise within your own company. And I'm going to explain why, right? Look at this one more time. How badly do you need what the other party has, right? How badly do you need your current job right now? Let's say you go to your boss, right? You knock on their door, say, hey, boss, I need a raise. It's like, are you in a position to demand a raise from them? What if they tell you, what if they say no? What's your response? What are you going to do? Quit? Well, if you depend on your current job to pay your bills, you're in no position to say no, or you're in no position to quit, and therefore they have all the leverage because you are 100% dependent on them. Therefore, you basically have no leverage to demand anything. And also, this is just one person that you're negotiating with. That's one attempt at getting what you want. And if you're lucky, you'll get basically breadcrumbs compared to what you really, really want. But what you can be doing instead is you can be applying to companies that are currently trying to fill a position, right? This puts you in an amazing position because for a variety of reasons. First reason is the company is actually looking to fill the position. So they're actually the one that is dependent on what you bring to the table. They're desperate to hire someone. You're not desperate to jump into their company, right? Plus, you have tons of options that you can leverage. You're not talking to just one person, you're talking to a multitude of different people. So if one person says no, it's not the end of the world, right? And you're not desperate. You're not so desperate that if they try to talk you down below what you're comfortable with, that you have to take it because you're already paying your bills with your current job. So basically, because you have zero dependence on this other company and because you control what they really desperately want because they're actively trying to fill the position, you have all the leverage. Because you have all the leverage, you can definitely ask for like 50% more than what you're currently getting paid, right? I'm actively interviewing for positions right now. I make full disclosure. I'm very transparent with this stuff. I make like 40K per year currently. That's gonna fucking change, boys. You just wait. I want to update you guys along my career journey as well on this channel. I'm actively interviewing for positions that might pay me anywhere between like 50 and 60K. Now that might not sound like a lot, but compared to a 4% raise, that's a huge leap in income, boys. Right? If I get paid 60K, if I go from 40 to 60K, that's a 50% boost in income. Imagine going to your boss tomorrow and saying, "Hey, I need a 50% raise." They're gonna laugh you out of their fucking office. Why? Because you have no leverage. They don't need. You need them more than they need you because you're dependent on them to pay your bills, right? So you apply the leverage to forcibly take what you want, right? Don't ask anyone for what you want. You have to take it by properly applying leverage. So that's probably going to be it for this one. I think I'm going to go through this formula again though, because you can use this formula in a variety of different contexts. You can also use this in the context of relationships, and I'm going to go over right. Um, yeah, with all that we're seeing in like modern dating, I'm going to explain to you how women actually use um, this formula to essentially dictate terms with men that they date and basically tell them what's up, and how you can combat that by cluing yourself in a bit. So I'm going to go over that here pretty soon. If you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned because it's going to be fucking banger, boys. Anyways, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.